Hey all, welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links video, and today I have another farm deck for you guys. As you can imagine, a ton of duels were released in the last little bit, so I've been working on making farm decks for all of them. I'll probably do a updated farm deck for Pegasus and the Paradox Brothers, but for right now I needed to get myself some Spirit Bearers and some other awesome drops from Bastion, so I thought, hey, I'll make a farm video on that. So jumping into the deck profile, this is a fairly standard Labyrinth builder deck, with only one key card that absolutely needs to be played, and that is anti-magic arrows. Now this isn't specifically this card that needs to be played, but this is the card that accomplishes the one thing that Bastion has that can ruin the farm, and that is him magic cylindering us final turn, making us take that 10,000 plus damage, and he gets off scot-free. So you definitely need to run anti-magic arrows or storm or some way of destroying the back row. So I recommend anti-magic arrows. It's a quick play card, it's great. You can also use storm, but anti-magic arrows is a one card combo piece just to completely stop that back row. Alright, and besides that, we also run the Thunder Dragon engine to give us a fusion summon. So Thunder Dragon, you discard the Thunder Dragon and you could add 2 Thunder Dragons from your deck to your hand. We also run 3 Jars of Greed, 3 Good Goblin Housekeeping, and 2 Shards of Greed, and that's just because Bastion has nothing that can stop us once we get out the Labyrinth Walls. Now the reason why we're using Labyrinth Builder and not Elements Unite is because he also has 2 Riryokus, which would cut our attack in half and give that half to his monster. So Labyrinth Builder, having 0 attack, will prevent him from doing this. And then for those of you guys who don't know, Good Goblin Housekeeping is a card I used to use in the past in a lot of farm decks that I didn't really use very recently, but it's something that I always tend to look at if it's a possible option, especially with Labyrinth Builder decks with Thunder Dragon in it. So basically, you just draw cards equal to the number of Good Goblin Housekeeping cards in your graveyard plus 1. So if there's none, you still draw 1. If there's 1 in your graveyard, you draw 2 cards, and if there's 2 in your graveyard, you draw 3 total cards. But then you select 1 card from your hand and you return to the bottom of the deck. So that allows you to kind of manipulate your deck to what you kind of want it to be. You can add the Thunder Dragon back in there, and it does result in some +1s eventually. So I do like this card, and I think it's a great card. Plus I have a glossy version of it, so that's always a bonus. And I also have 1 Crystal Seer just for another card to draw. If I had a 3rd Shard of Greed, I would toss a 3rd Shard of Greed in there, but this is basically all my generic draw cards. So since this is a very straightforward and easy to use deck, I'm not going to spend too much more time on it. Let's just jump into the farm replay, and then we can talk about how to successfully farm Bastion. Alright, so we're lucky and we drew our Thunder Dragon right away, so that's fairly key. We can ditch it right away in our starting hand in order to get the 2 other Thunder Dragons. We also drew a Shard of Greed and a Jar of Greed, which is pretty awesome as well, so we can play those and draw cards really quickly. So what we actually draw is another Union Attack, so that gives us 2 targets for our Labyrinth Builder in order to shuffle those 2 cards into the deck that we don't need immediately for anything right now, but still allow us to get our Labyrinth Walls out. So then I play both the Shard of Greed and the Jar of Greed, and then I finally end my turn by activating the Thunder Dragon effect, fishing out 2 more Thunder Dragons. And as you can see, we're back at 15 cards, very nice. All the minuses have been accounted for, and now it is our opponent's turn. So basically you just want to keep drawing cards, keep setting cards that allow you to draw more. Nothing you really need to do, nothing you need to worry about. You're not really looking for anything right now. You're just going to keep doing this, and you're just going to keep doing this until you have run through your entire deck. So there I just set some cards because at the very end of the turn I did not want to discard any of the combo pieces I needed. So I just made sure to count that I only had 6 cards that were of necessity in my hand. As we are moving into the final turn, you don't want to discard any of your combo pieces, and you can definitely set them face down as they're not going to cause any immediate problems for it. There we go. Now we're going to switch to attack mode. We're going to activate shield and sword to swap the attack and defense of everything that's on the field right now. And then we're going to play polymerization to get out our twin-headed thunder dragon, which equals a total of 5,800 attack if you add up those two attacks of those two monsters. So it's easily over the 40-some hundred you need. You summon a vassal. Vassal's your normal summon for the turn. You're going to activate Secret Past the Treasures to allow it to attack directly this turn. And then you're going to play Union Attack. This adds up all the attack of your monsters on your field and adds it to your one selected monster. All other monsters cannot attack except for the selected monster. And you do that twice so it gets double the attack. You move into the battle phase. This is very key. Then you activate anti-magic arrows just like so. And then you go in for the attack. And he couldn't use his back row and he loses the game instantly. That one hit over 10,000 damage. And there you go. And there, as you can see, it's a base 8,000 farm at least. I do not have that many glossy cards in there, so it wasn't too difficult. Alright, and there's a successful farm. I just want to address one thing. The Ryoku. Now, just one quick little disclaimer. I know that he has Ryoku that can possibly power up his water dragon above your Labyrinth Walls, but I have never had that happen because it's such an unlikely scenario, but it can happen. But I don't think we should really prep for it, just in case. But if you really did, just add in a half shut or something to protect your monster from being destroyed by battle. Turn that it is there. Other than that, your farm deck should be 100% successful every single time, no worries. Hope you enjoyed watching. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, leave them down below and I'll be sure to address them as quickly as I can to the best of my ability. Hope to see you next time, and as always, peace.
You